Namaste. This is Captain Brijesh Chowta, and it is indeed a matter of both pride and privilege to be speaking about Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, having served in the same regiment, the 8th Gorkha Rifles. Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, like they say, "Bas naam hi kafi hai," the name says it all. It is impossible to give a complete glimpse of him in a short chat, but it is important we remember a man whose life and decisions are a lesson for not just every soldier, but everyone who seeks to serve the motherland. Sam was born on April 13, 1914 to a Parsi family in Amritsar. Sam had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Sam's father served as a medical officer with the Royal British Army. But Sam was the most mischievous, and there are instances apparently of him arguing with his mother and stomping out of the house straight to a police station to lodge a complaint. Following in his father's footsteps, he initially had ambitions to join medicine. But then, though he joined the Hindu Sabha College to pursue intermediate science, he didn't see his heart beating for it. So the moment India's own military academy was established in Dehradun, Sam was among the first batch of Indians to qualify and joined in September 1932. He passed out in 1934. He was Sam Bahadur, as we Gorkhas call him. In one word, he was simply that, Bahadur, whether it was Pakistan Army or the Indian Prime Minister. He feared no one when he knew he was right. He redefined the word integrity, and to this day and forever, there can never be another Sam. And for every Gorkha, he will forever be an unmatched idol. Who else would have the courage to look into the eyes of the Prime Minister of the day and dare defy the orders? Who else can imagine telling the PM to delay going to war until his boys were prepared to win the war for the country? From World War II in 1942, which was Sam's first major military campaign when he served as a captain in the 412 Frontier Force Regiment in Burma, to masterminding the 1971 Indo-Pak War for the liberation of Bangladesh, which we are celebrating this year as the Swarnim Vijay Varsh. Sam's life in uniform is filled with anecdotes that fuel every soldier's grit and determination. His kick by a donkey tail is famous, and also one of the first tales that show he was made of something really different. To begin with, in Burma in the 1942 campaign on the Sitang River, Sam was a captain, but owing to shortage of men, he had to don the hat of the major and lead 2 companies against the invading Japanese army. He charged full steam and did manage to capture the key position. But in the process, he was severely wounded with a light machine gun as a light machine gun fire hit him. He took 9 bullets on him. It was almost the end. He didn't want casualties to be evacuated. He feared it would hamper the speed of his battalion, and hence ordered they fight on, which they did. They eventually also managed to capture the strategically important Sitang Bridge. But then Sam was lying with 9 bullets inside him. They thought he wouldn't make it. Even Major General David Cohen, who was then the divisional commander of the 17th Infantry, rushed and pinned his own Military Cross ribbon, a highly valued bravery medal of the British Army, onto Sam, because he had seen Sam handling the strike, and he too felt Sam wouldn't make it. He pinned the ribbon because only the living can be awarded the medal. But then his men wouldn't leave him to die. Sher Singh, his buddy, carried him to the medical aid post, and when he saw the doctors being busy, he openly threatened to shoot them if they didn't attend to Sam. He then moved to Pegu, where again the Australian surgeon there didn't think Sam would survive, so he refused to operate. Meanwhile, Sam regained consciousness, and when the doctor asked him what happened, even with those bullet injuries, he laughed it off and said, "A bloody mule kicked me." With 9 bullets in him, only Sam could dare say, "I was kicked by a donkey." The surgeon laughed and said, "You have a sense of humor. I think you're worth saving." And that is how the man who most thought wouldn't make it after having 9 bullets in him for hours together, went on to become India's first field marshal. He was an officer who was simply made differently. He had no qualms of being politically correct. If he deemed it fit, he simply said it. If he thought it was needed, he just did it, even at the cost of his own growth at times. Not just what he did for the nation, but what he did for the army too remained unparalleled. He improved medical facilities, pursued quota for those who retired early to have a second career with the police or the paramilitary organization. It was under him that the higher technology got due importance in the army. Computerization was introduced in the army. His journey wasn't all smooth sailing, and the treatment he received in his post-army uniform days are a grim reminder of his not so happy tryst with the bureaucracy. He had a fallout with the then Defence Minister V.K. Krishna Menon, who nursed the grudge for long. Once when Menon asked him what he thought of General Thimaia, the then Chief of Army Staff, Sam said he wasn't permitted to think of his chief. Even when he saw Menon was clearly annoyed by what Menon called Sam's British way of thinking and said he can get rid of Thimaia, Sam stood his ground and told the Defence Minister on his face, "You can get rid of him, but then I'll get another chief and I won't be allowed to think of him too. You know, it is very wrong to ask a Major General what he thinks of his chief. Tomorrow you'll be asking a Brigadier what he thinks of me. This is not done in the army." He silenced Menon with his reply, though Menon held both the response and his loyalty to General Thimaia against Sam for a long time to come. But legendary was his response to Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, who was asking him to go to war in April 1971. He asked the PM, "What do you want me to do?" To which she replied, "We don't mind a war." Now imagine his conviction and audacity. He snubbed her in front of the entire entourage of ministers and bureaucrats. Sam asked, "Have you read the Bible?" To which the Minister for External Affairs, Sardar Swaran Singh, asked, "What has the Bible to do with this?" To which Sam replied, "In the Bible it is written that God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light. You think that by saying 'Let there be war,' there can be a war? Are you ready for a war? I am not." Only someone like Sam could dare do that. Although he went on to explain the operational preparedness of his army, the logistical shortcomings, then his conclusion was even stronger. He told Mrs. Gandhi, "If your father had me as the army chief in 1962 instead of General Thapar, and he had told me to throw the Chinese out, I would have said the same thing and he would not have been shamed the way he was. If you still want me to go ahead, I will. But I guarantee you a 100% defeat. I have given my professional assessment. Now it is for the government to take a decision. Now tell me what you want me to do." Imagine his clarity. We eventually did go to war much later, and only once he had prepared his men to win the war. And win we did, whose 50th anniversary we are celebrating this year. Post the war too, he handled both his men and the prisoners of war in his unique style. No rampage, no loot, no untoward incidents. Not just for soldiers, he ensured that the Pakistanis who were prisoners of war were treated with respect. His treatment was such that the prisoners were heard saying, "Wish we had generals like Sam in Pakistan." Such was his persona. Having spoken about this great general of the Indian Army, I wouldn't be wrong in saying they don't make the likes of him nowadays. He was a role model to many, within and outside the armed forces. His last days were spent in Wellington in Konur, and he finally breathed his last in the military hospital. In him, the nation not only lost a great general who was instrumental in getting the Indian armed forces on the world map, but a gentleman who was loved dearly by the armed forces fraternity. And I must remind all of us Gurkhas, remember that one line he said about us. Sam said, "If anyone tells you that he is never afraid, he is either a liar or a Gurkha." And this one line nudges us all to this day to never fear anything. Let us all pay tribute to this great soldier which India produced, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, on his death anniversary. And thank you, Disha Bharat, for giving me an opportunity to speak about the great general.